hold Donald J. Trump's fate in his hands as we watch, as we wait, as we hopefully get an answer by week's end. This morning, you should know that Representative Elise Stefanik filed a misconduct complaint against Trump, against Juan Merchan, the judge, I should say, over the random assignment to Trump's New York City trial. So what am I talking about? So she is saying that there's supposed to be a random assignment in any given trial such as this. She points out, and she has filed this misconduct complaint against the judge overseeing Trump's Manhattan bookkeeping trial, alleging that his selection to handle the former president's case and others involving his allies is in fact not random at all, that it's illegal. So she points out, for example, why is Juan Merchan, why is he presiding over all of these different cases? He's a Democrat Party donor, and he's assigned to these criminal cases related to Trump. So think about it. He also presided, I had forgotten about this, he presided against Steve Bannon's proceedings as well. And so now this is the judge, Juan Merchan, who could declare a mistrial, but we know that he won't. We saw both sides of that marathon closing arguments yesterday. So I played a lot of it for you. De Niro, the clown show, and Robert De Niro being the clown. But you think about this, it went until 8 o'clock last night. What a marathon. Just keep in mind as well that Judge Juan Merchan, after the defense concluded, Juan Merchan then took a lunch break, told the jury that they could go, excused them, sat in the courtroom and basically scolded the Trump attorneys, the defense team. Then when they came back after lunch in the afternoon, it's important to note that the judge instructed the jury to discard some of what they had been told, and in fact thought it was over the top, and I'm paraphrasing here, but thought it was over the top when Todd Blanchett called Michael Cohen, the star witness, gloat, not the GOAT, but the greatest liar of all time. I thought that was awesome, and the judge thinking that was over the top. But more importantly, the judge instructing the jury that it was improper when the defense lawyers for Trump had said that Trump is fighting to, for his family and to keep himself out of jail, out of prison. And he said you need to completely discard all of that rhetoric, discard what the defense team said, because the judge said you don't have to worry about that. You just have to worry about the 34 counts. You don't have to worry about any jail time. That's on me. The judge, will make that determination. And then I saw yesterday the pundits, the media saying, Trump's not going to face jail time. Look it up. These are felony counts, and they do, in fact, carry a 4-year sentence, a potential 4-year jail sentence. That's the truth. And so it's not out of line. And look at what all the experts say on both sides. It's not out of line to say he's fighting for his freedom. But yes, I predicted early this morning. I do want to hear, we'll get to our first guest, but I do want to hear from you as far as what you think may happen as the jury, after they're instructed by the judge, they then will begin deliberations today, and they could find him guilty on all 34 counts. They could find him, that could be a partial guilty, partial not guilty, because there are 30, they have to go through every single count. My take on this is, I think it's likely that even if there's a juror who thinks, come on, this is a campaign finance fraud and conspiracy case, and he was already the president of the United States when this filing was made. It's a bookkeeping situation. I heard from the bookkeeper who testified under oath that he never even talked to Trump or was instructed by him. And so if you think it's a stretch, but maybe there's one little felony count out of the 34. Maybe there's one little felony count, so I don't have to deal with the media, my neighbors, my employer, my spouse. So it wouldn't surprise me If you get, I don't know, 32 not guilties and maybe one or two guilty, that's all they need. But as I've said, my hope and my prayer is that we really see the vindication of our jury system. Maybe just one juror speaks the truth. If you look at this case, I don't see it. I don't see that you have felony counts of federal campaign finance fraud, because that's really what it is in a state court, and then the conspiracy. I don't think they proved it beyond a reasonable doubt. You may say I'm biased, but look at the case. I've read through these court records carefully. That's my take on it. So we'll watch through the day, obviously, as the jury then, deliberates and hopefully renders a verdict, hopefully by Friday, so that we can get this thing done. That's what's going on. And obviously, if Trump, if for some reason they adjourn early, as far as he does the instructions right now, they're getting the instructions. Do they take a quick coffee break? Does Trump speak then? I don't know. But, just remember that yesterday, the campaign of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris showing their hand as showing the motivation why Trump is really in court today. Why is he being persecuted? It's not a proper prosecution. It's a political persecution. And the head persecutor, the persecutor in chief, Joe Biden, showing his hands, sending not just Robert De Niro, and you heard we played some of the other players, but you have the campaign there with printed out campaign signs. They're campaigning there because this is part of what they've got. It's their campaign strategy to persecute. So Joe Biden, the persecutor in chief, he was there. And did that influence the jury? No matter what happens, just keep in mind this will go to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. It will be overturned if there is some kind of a guilty verdict. And remember that Ninth Circuit, and I've told you this before, but I'll say it again, they were the ones that overturned the Harvey Weinstein case because the prosecution, remember, that's a horrible case. And that must have been tough for those jurors, because if you follow the case, you believe Weinstein did those things. But the fact that they brought in women who had nothing to do with that case and let them testify, that's not allowed. I think that there are so many different ways you could go with the appeal in this Trump case, but I think the Ninth Circuit, no matter what, they're going to overturn whatever happens if there is a guilty plea. All right, we have our next guest. So let's get to our next guest. You know him, a Philadelphia journalist, award-winning journalist, author. This is our friend Tom Nichols, writing about life on the streets and in the woods, Broad and Liberty. Hey, Tom, what do you mean by in the woods?
Well, in the woods, as I wrote in my Broad and Liberty piece, was a partial story of Richard, who was a homeless man who has made a tent for himself, and he lives by the Delaware River in the Port Richmond section. Basically, he does not like other homeless people because of the thievery, and basically it's not safe to be around other homeless people who are all drug addicted. And there are constant stories of people trying to burn his tent, for instance, when he used to live in encampments. So he's decided to go the Henry David Thoreau route, I guess, and to live by the river. And so he's left alone there, basically. The police don't know where he is, and I don't think the police care, basically, because he's not in an environment where there are children and where there might be needles on the ground, etc. But, Richard, he was never a part of that K&A encampment by the L. So he did not have the problem of kind of migrating into other neighborhoods, which, of course, is what happened after the sweep earlier this month. And I mean, the sweep had to be done. That was completely necessary. Something had to be done. We had an administration that had fallen asleep on that for years and years. Yes. But the city also allowed it to build. So, the city was a co-creator. The Mayor Parker comes in and, I think maybe there was a bit of self-interest there. She, I guess, wanted to be known as the mayor who cleaned it up. It's, you can't blame a mayor for like wanting to have 5 stars on his or her resume. But the problem is that I don't think that you can only have police action without a place to actually send these people. And this is the problem, that there aren't too many options in society for police. You can only send them to jail or to the hospital. But if they don't to live, that becomes a problem. So as a result, we saw little groups of like so-called migrants coming into the Port Richmond or Old Richmond neighborhood, finding a new place to sort of settle in. And, they were attracted to abandoned buildings, like there's a Rite Aid that's up for sale not too far from my house. And that's been there alone, abandoned for about 6 months now. And, windows are getting broken. It has huge amounts of trash around it because it's become a kind of a camping ground. But so this is becoming a problem. I see this eternal cat and mouse game with the police and the homeless, especially at a nearby Wawa. And it's just a shame. I know that the city's first ever public safety director, Adam Greer, said, I think during the day of the sweep, we're going to meet them where they are, meaning like where they are, but the fact is that so many of them are not ready to make the commitment to get clean. And as you know, this is a great internal decision. It's not something that can be forced on anyone, because if it is forced, it's not going to take, and it's not going to last very long.
Yeah, and there's also, I saw even in the Inquirer there was a piece today about Pottstown, and we report on Pottstown a lot and the connection. You draw that connection as far as what's going on in certain areas in Montgomery County where maybe some of these individuals are going. There's a connection between people who are drug addicted and or homeless, or maybe it's gang related, maybe all of the above. But take me to Pottstown, and can you connect those dots, Tom?
Yeah, well, for some reason, as they're being chased out of Philadelphia in a cat and mouse kind of a way, because they're looking for other settlement areas, and I say they as if I'm referring to a solidified tribe, but there are many different kind of individuals among these people, as you know. But apparently, Pottstown has become an attractive mecca of sorts, and city council members in Pottstown, as well as the mayor, are growing concerned because they have their own homeless population, but now they're seeing an influx of homeless migrants, as it were, from Philadelphia because they're being chased out of here. So you have mayors of other cities in the West who are like wondering what to do with this influx. It's almost like a microcosm of what's happening at the southern border. And the homeless population is not going down. As a matter of fact, I think it's growing because there are different degrees of homelessness, as you know. Some people camp out at friends. They do couch surfing. They're like homeless for 3 days. Then they're okay. So it's a back and forth thing. So the population is always expanding. But this whole Pottstown thing is interesting, but it doesn't. My main concern is is that while police action is completely necessary, it's that it's affecting life for ordinary Philadelphia citizens. You walk into the local Wawa, you see a flank of officers and security guards. That's the first thing that greets you, and this is like something weird and Orwellian. It's like everywhere you go, there are guards on the defensive, and this is no way to live a life. And it's a tragedy that we have to see the city turn into this kind of armed camp.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, so I don't know a solution to this. I mean, if you look to like Europe, you know, you get these revolutionary, what you may call scandalous solutions, like in Portugal and Finland, where they have like safe zones where addicts can do their drugs, and then they have special housing for them. And they claim that the addiction goes down and that homelessness goes down. But at this point, I don't know what is true. I just know that we can't play this eternal cat and mouse game with the police because it's not going to fix the problem ultimately. And it's just, yeah. I mean, I rode by Kensington the other day, and while I didn't see any tents, there were still lines of people all bent over in that kind of fentanyl shuffle. So in that sense, nothing has changed.
Yeah.
The only thing that has changed was there were no cardboard slats on the sidewalk and no tents.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have a tent.
There.
You can still do drugs, maybe out on the sidewalk. Tom Nichols, I've got so much developing today, so we got to run. Thank you so much. BroadenLiberty.com. You can check out his latest piece, and you really get into this, the Parker administration, and then beyond, as this problem is not just for people living in the city of Philadelphia. It's an issue that needs to be addressed. Tom Nichols, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dawn.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. Yeah, and I've talked about that with the addiction. Other countries, such as some of the Scandinavian countries in Europe, where they just they don't call it a homeless encampment because that's not just what it is. This is an open drug market. And once you address it as that and realize that the government and society is enabling and maybe even encouraging the drug use, and we have to be smarter about it and look to others to see, well, how are they solving the problem? I think that's the beginning. You know, we mentioned the Parker administration. I'm just going to point out to you, there is going to be gridlock today. I talked about the traffic gridlock with Joe Biden, Kamala Harris making their way in. We're watching very carefully as well if Trump comes out of the courtroom. So there's, right now as we speak, the judge in the Manhattan Trump trial still giving those instructions. Don't worry, you're not going to miss a thing. But I do want to warn you, as far as traffic alerts going on pretty much all day. So I think the madness, the road closures, I think are beginning, but the height of it will be between 12:30 and about 5-ish p.m. So sorry if you're trying to make your way around. President Joe Biden is traveling to Philadelphia today. He's going to speak at that campaign rally at Girard College, historic boarding school in Fairmount, and then the Veep, Vice President Kamala Harris. She's not traveling with him. These are separate motorcades, but the Veep will join him separately, as will Philadelphia Mayor Sherrell Parker and Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis. So this is they're rolling out the carpet to the African American community in Philadelphia. That's what this is. So Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis, African American gentleman, as you know. This is Biden's 5th trip to the Philadelphia region this year, 7th to Pennsylvania, if you're keeping track, 7th visit to Pennsylvania. And we are, of course, one of the key battleground states for the upcoming November 5th election. Biden agreeing, yes, to debate his opponent, who's, being persecuted at that Manhattan trial we talk about every day. His opponent, the presumed GOP frontrunner, who is the GOP choice, President Donald J. Trump. So it's they call it an American Business Immigration Coalition. They're asking Biden to expand work permits access. How about that one? The American Business Immigration Coalition. So they just held a news conference just this morning, and they're urging President Joe Biden to grant work permits to immigrants. And they were joined by many community and immigration advocacy organizations and speakers, all focusing on the need for those work permits. Okay. This is an interesting question I have, because are these individuals who want a work permit, did they come here illegally? Are they seeking asylum, seeking citizenship in a proper legal way? Because if they're not, then they've jumped in line ahead of, you know where I'm going with this. They've now jumped ahead of those who have been standing in line, some of them for years. And so this is not popular in so many communities in America. It's not popular at all. And in I think low and middle income as well as union families, not popular either, because many see that as competition. And why would you give people who are not necessarily here legally or doing things the legal way? Maybe they are seeking asylum, but they don't have all their paperwork that they're supposed to have. And others are saying, wait a minute, I've been waiting for 2 years, 5 years. That's why when we have Christine Flowers on it, you hear her talking about this. It's just not fair. And so why is he launching? They love Philadelphia, but they want to boost the support among black voters. I know I had given the stat, I think 6 o'clock this morning, but you look at the latest polls. When Biden was elected the last time around, he had basically the full support of the African-American community. Now it's maybe 54, 55% when it was 94 to 96%. This is a huge difference. But the gridlock and the madness begins. And the gridlock, as I talk about it, major traffic gridlock, it's expected, unfortunately, through the evening rush hour, because there's that luncheon. I think that one's on Broad Street. 2 separate motorcades making their way. Harris doesn't get here until 2:30 this afternoon, but then Biden stays until about 5 p.m. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for us, Anthony, we got it when the Dawn show ends and the Dom show begins. Boom.
We're running. Yeah, we're getting the hell out of here.
For Dom, is Dom here already?
I don't think so, but yeah, maybe Dom, if you're listening, maybe get here.
Dom and Big Dan, if you're not on the road right now, I don't know, Jimmy Kelly is going to be hosting the Dom show.
Take the SEPTA.
Because seriously, I know all the traffic reporters were talking about that.
Well, I'm definitely curious to see how it is received, especially with what you were just mentioning with the immigrant status issue that's going to be brought up. And on top of that, they want to act like crime's not an issue. He should go hang out up at Cecil B. Moore and Temple area and see, how long will it take till there's a shooting in that area today, like every single day. So I don't know. There's so many things in these communities for them to not really be excited about Joe Biden. So
this is true. Yeah, we'll see how they're received. And generally speaking, it's not a rally. It's inside, and we notice that.
It's an appearance.
Appearance. Yeah. Everybody's vetted. Everybody's seated. And so, we'll take you through it and I'll try to give you the traffic heads up if we can get those specifics. But we got to take a quick break. And the Dawn oh my gosh, there's more developing even as I speak. Thank you for being here. 855-839-1210 at Dawn Stensland on X. Be right back.
WPHT. Hey, it's Greg with Kale & Company. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, but it's not too late to get in on the action with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. Listen to this. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 you can use on same-game parlays, like which player will score the first basket, how many three-pointers a specific player will take, and if a player can score 25 or more points. Live bets, championship futures, and so much more. There's so many options right there in the FanDuel app. All you have to do is go to FanDuel.com/Greg to get started started. FanDuel.com/Greg. There's no better place to get in on all the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over, present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, Philly, it's Jen Ryan. In the city of brotherly love, the only thing we love more than our teams is great savings. And with unlimited welcome from Verizon, you can save big even if you're on a single line. For a limited time, single lines start at just $50 a month when you bring your own phone. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, that's a savings of $15 a month. And when you switch now, you can save on the things you love, like Netflix and Max. All on the most awarded 5G network. Now that's a real win. There's never been a better time to switch to the network America relies on. But this offer won't last long. Visit your local Verizon store to switch and save big today. $180 BYOD promo credit and $360 local promo credit applied over 36 months for new customers with one new line with your own 4G, 5G phone on unlimited welcome plan required. Additional terms apply, auto pay and paper-free billing required. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. $10 a month for each My Plan perk. Additional terms and conditions apply per perk.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Savings are here at Hessard Chevrolet. This Memorial Month, we're rolling out incredible savings on top Chevy models, Silverado and Trailblazer. Whether you're looking for the power and performance of the Silverado or the versatility of the Trailblazer, the time to buy is now. Drive home a new 2024 Silverado with 1.9% APR for 36 months, or a 2024 Trailblazer for $299 per month for 36 months. With these special offers, you won't want to miss Memorial Month here at Hessard Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit HessardChevy.com today. Call 267-343-9094 for full details.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
Although you try not to, most of us have used an ATM out of network. And at the end, you get that notice that it's going to cost you $4 extra.
Are you kidding me?
So you're paying money to get your own money. It makes you crazy. In retirement, you're going to want to use that 401k, but every time you dip into it, you have to pay taxes. Here we go again. You have to pay money to get your own money.
Oh, come on!
Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group believes that every retirement plan needs a tax plan. Without it, you're using Uncle Sam's plan. And do you really think that's going to work in your favor? Call Retire Ready Financial Group today at 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415 and schedule a complimentary retirement consultation. Or you can find them online at retirereadyfg.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Hi, it's Rich Zioli. I'm joined here today by my friend, the co-president and CEO of Cooper University Healthcare, the one and only Dr. Anthony Mazzarelli. Dr. Maz and I are here to tell you about our buddy, Dr. Mike Veneria. Not only is he my dentist, he's my family's dentist as well. And not sure if you knew this, he's Dr. Maz's dentist too.
That's right, Rich. Dr. Mike Veneria is and has been my dentist also. And, doctors choosing doctors, that can be quite a selective process. And not only do I go to them, but for years, my sister and my niece and my nephew, the whole family goes.
Well, it's no secret. We're all delighted by the care that Dr. Mike Veneria and his award-winning team provide, and you need to check him out.
Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, implant dentistry, you don't need to look any further. Dr. Veneria's office does everything. Dr. Veneria's office also exceeds all CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strictest infection control, like their centralized UV sterilization of airflow, which is incredibly important to me.
Locations are right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Your perfect smile's waiting. Call 856-786-2020 or visit veneriadental.com.
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill.
La 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 la.
Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Just like our offensive line protects our star quarterback, plumbers protect the health of the nation, and Philadelphia Plumbers Union Local 690 is no different. In hospitals, commercial, industrial, and residential, with the best trained plumbers in the world, you can be sure your project is done on time and on budget, no matter how big or small. So when your business needs to build new or expand existing facilities, you can count on the members of Plumbers Union Local 690. Visit plumbers690.org.
Have you questioned your doctor about symptoms like low energy, digestive issues, brain fog, joint pain, just not feeling right, just something is off, and you're only left settling for unanswered questions, or worse, being told it's just because you're getting older? You don't have to settle for unanswered questions any longer. With Younger Me MD's exclusive VIP membership program, aging doesn't have to make you feel older. Their proven 3-step process and functional medicine approach helps you discover the underlying causes of your issues. As a member, you get access to high-level personalized treatment plans, as well as discounts on treatments and supplements. If you're ready to live the life you deserve, it's time to learn about Younger Me MD's VIP membership program. Call 445-266-4024. 445-266-4024. That's 445-266-4024. And schedule your consultation with Younger Me, MD.
Rich Zioli.
So I just want to make sure my take on Woodrow Wilson is strong and clear and nobody has any questions. I hate the man's guts.
What about Edith Wilson? What do you think of her?
I hate her too.
Okay.
When I can't sleep, I sit there and remind myself of all the reasons why I hate Woodrow Wilson. To lull myself back.
Instead of counting sheep, you count reasons to hate Woodrow Wilson.
Exactly. It's a very effective strategy, let me tell you.
Rich Zioli, weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app. Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
So Judge Juan Merchan instructing the jury right now, and we'll see how long that takes. Then will they go right to deliberations? Will they take a break? Will Trump speak? If he does, we'll take it right away for you. And remember, Joe Biden and his Veep, Kamala Harris, they'll be here in Philadelphia today with gridlock expected between noon. And yes, unfortunately, it will affect the evening rush. That's what we're hearing from all the traffic gurus. I want to take you to this story of, and this is really a shame as far as what the Kelsey. I'm a big fan of the Kelseys, of Kylie and Jason Kelsey. I think they're great people, great family people, and I'll tell you why. Because every year they support our family members, the Monichettis, who of course own Mike's Seafood, Mike and Jeannie, and they have a major event that raises 6 figures for autism, because we have our niece Karamia, who was born with autism, and they said, we want to do something, we want to raise money, we want to make sure that we can support families who have an autistic child, and they have a big family. And so it's pretty cool that the Kelsey clan, they go down there, they support them, and they support the Monichettis and all of those people. I mean, thousands of people who come for the autism walk, the polar bear plunge, all of that. It's usually right around Valentine's Day. It's a huge event in Sea Isle City. And I know they love the shore, but the reason I love them so much is when I found out that they go to that and they support Karamia and they support all the families and the kids with autism, I think they're awesome people. And they don't expect to be introduced or anything of that nature. In fact, last time around, they ran because it's a run or a walk. Larry and I, of course, walked. I think David was the only one in our family who ran. But it raised a ton of money and get together, our whole family, the Logans, the Mentees, everybody's there supporting all the children with autism. And it's empowering if you have somebody in your family where you are somebody's differently abled, that puts a strain on the family, but also is such a blessing. And the fact that the Kelseys get that gives them a special place in my heart. I'm just saying. So that leads me up to, this latest story. I guess they were down the shore over the weekend. And this video went viral of this really nasty lady who approaches them. I guess they were still in their vehicle. And so Kylie kind of handles it, even though when they were at the autism fundraiser, when they're there in Seattle City, I'll tell you, they posed for pictures with the kids and everybody. They're really gracious with their time and they're really sweet. This lady was really aggressive and apparently smelled of alcohol, was really obnoxious.
Yeah, and to set the scene, supposedly she was like smacking on the car window, like asking for a photo. Kylie
so kind of followed them to the car?
Yeah, I mean, they were like apparently like pulling in for dinner. And this woman like saw their car. I guess people heard that it was the Kelseys. She ran up, tried to get a picture, asked them. Kylie supposedly said very nicely, like, I'm sorry, it's our date night. Like, thank you. We appreciate you being a fan. And then that's when this chaos ensued.
Middle of the street. You are. You'll never be allowed in this town. No. You'll never be allowed in this town. Say it.
So you'll never be allowed in this town. This was my friend Hugh E. Dillon, Philly Chit Chat. He actually witnessed the entire thing, recorded it. I'm glad he did. Thank goodness he did, actually. Because it comes, if you watch it and you realize what happens as Hugh tells the whole story, then the truth is the backstory is what's important as he's showing that, in fact, this is a harassing situation. And to say that you'll never be allowed in this town again. But what I do love about it is you see in the video, Jason Kelsey kind of stands back and you see Kylie. Anybody who thinks, remember the recent homemaker remark, Anthony?
Oh yeah, he's standing back. He's like, I've dealt with this before.
So Kylie's like, oh no, she's she puts on a strong stance and she's like, no, you're not going to tell me this. But I'm appreciative of Huey Dillon to kind of put the perspective where it belongs. That this is somebody that Kylie is there having a date night and is very willing to, very friendly and very generous with her time. But when somebody comes up and they're obnoxious on your date night, I mean, that's just rude. It's just rude. And I hope they show the woman. They don't show the woman. By the way, that Kylie, how many kids do they have? Look at, she is so fit. She's wearing this cute blue skirt with the slit like all the way up on the side. Like I have to, I can only say this, but she's really fit and just freaking adorable.
Well, and I'm just saying, like, this is why they're still normal human beings.
Yeah.
As nice as they
She's
are.
all
And
dressed up,
like they're just normal people, though. They're just trying to have a normal date for once. I understand they're the Kelseys. I'm sure the second they walk into the restaurant, everyone's going to look at them and, like, gasp. Like, give them some sort of little bit of normalcy. You know, like, they're still human beings. Like, I get it. We all love them. But, like, on a night like that, like, just let them be, man. Like, it isn't that hard.
Yeah. And she's, when you have kids and Anthony and Mary don't know what this is yet. But someday you'll know this, that when you have little kids and they're 24/7, you never have a moment to yourself.
You want a break. Yes.
Right. So here and so they've had this hectic time and they're out for dinner and they're all dressed up. And so here comes this obnoxious, rude woman who is banging on the vehicle and then goes ballistic because she didn't get her way. So Kylie doubled down and just said, no, it's not happening. Get out of my face, etc. But this woman embarrassed herself.
People like that aren't fans. Like, you're not a fan.
Right.
Like, you have to treat them like they're human beings. You have to treat them with decency. They aren't just like, this performing act that every time you see them, it's not always about you. Like they are human beings.
They call her the Duchess of Delco. I love that.
I saw that, yeah.
That's what Hugh calls it. The Duchess of Delco defends her man. That was cute. So they go on to talk about Kylie and Jason. I think Kylie should get her own show, and we have to have her on. She should have her own show and her own stuff, you know? She should endorse, like, look at how cute. I love her shoes and I love her dress. I don't know if you're showing this on YouTube, but she's, you know, she could have her own line, QVC, whatever, the Kelsey fashion line.
Yeah,
She's
they're
better than
local too.
Yeah.
That would work.
She's better than the Kardashians, right? She's
That's
more
not a high
normal.
bar, but yeah.
I mean, but she's more relatable. 855-839-12.
I don't understand any of that stuff with women. Like I like relatable, normal women. I don't like these women who have, you know, 1,000 surgeries and things like that. So I agree with you.
But look at her. She's gorgeous. Did you look at the picture?
She's stunning.
She is. She's gorgeous. She's fit. She ran in our Walk and Run for Autism down the shore. But I mean, she's really fit. But she's looking fabulous. So cute. I love her. I'm too big of a fan, I know. But they all make fun of me in the morning show, so this is my vindication to go on and on about the Kelseys. You can tell me I'm wrong or right or whatever, but let's have a show for Kylie. She should have a show on here at Odyssey World headquarters.
Oh, I'm sure
She should have her own show.
I'm sure our bosses would love
right?
that. Yeah.
She could endorse. Yeah. She could create her own clothing line, like for moms on the go. It'd be great. And we'll call it Duchess of Delco.
She just spoke at Cabrini before them shutting down,
right,
which
she's
was
a grad.
awesome. Yeah, yeah.
We love her. We love her. Lady, obnoxious lady from wherever, Margate, you're nasty. You need to apologize. And you know that lady the next day after she sobered up was probably like, oh my goodness. Everybody's talking about this.
She saw herself on the news, yeah.
Oh, jeez. 855-839-1210. All right. We'll get back to news. I just had to I just had to take that moment. Sorry. 855-839-1210 at Dawn Stensland on Twitter. When we talk about hitting the road, because I don't know if the Kelseys were in a beautiful Piazza luxury vehicle, if they're still in the minivan phase. I can't see what kind of vehicle they have. But maybe you're thinking about switching it up and you're beyond, you know, the Honda Odyssey minivan. Like, I'm still on that stage, believe it or not. So someday, I will turn to my friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles, because I work hard. You work hard. You've worked for it. Go get it, would you? If you've been eyeing that, maybe it's a Mercedes-Benz or a Land Rover, Jaguar, Maserati, BMW, Porsche. Now, I know Porsche, they have some of the SUVs that are luxury SUVs, but I just don't want my kids, you know what I mean, with the smashed banana all over my luxury vehicle. That's why I'm not quite there yet. Just turn to my friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles, Piazza, Piazza Premium Automobiles. You can stop by one of their Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey dealers. Make sure you tell them Dawn sent you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really helped me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-505-1608. 800-505-1608. 800-505-1608.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions.
Attention, anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, or other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-721-4643. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-721-4643 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, or other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-721-4643. 800-721-4643. 800-721-4643.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-403-5569 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-403-5569. That's 800-403-5569. What do you have to lose? Call 800-403-5569. Again, 800-403-5569.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. I know that with this economy, summer vacation may seem a bit unaffordable this year, but I still want you to make those summer memories with the kids. You gotta do it, right? Summer vacation. And my happy place, the Grand Hotel of Cape May, makes it easy and affordable. Book a June midweek stay, and you will receive resort credits. That's right, they're gonna give you money to spend at the resort. Now, they have 2 gigantic pools, including a heated indoor pool, and you will love the food at Hemingway's restaurant. And you're gonna love using their resort credits on site. For example, you stay a week, you're gonna get $70 a night back in resort credits to use. And you can use them how you want to use them. And the Grand Hotel offers guest rooms, suites, and townhomes equipped with a kitchenette. So you get the best of both worlds. It's like renting a shore home, but with all the amenities of a full-service resort. And you don't have to pack the sheets and the towels. You enjoy the convenience of a private kitchenette, refrigerator, and housekeeping. Book direct with them for the best rates to get your resort credits. Book your stay at 800-257-8550 or visit them online at grandhotelcapemay.com. They will sell out this summer. grandhotelcapemay.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. RAMP.com/250.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the Saturday Night Free-for-All. Starting at 7 p.m., Talk Radio 1210 WPHT is live and local with Michael Pelka from 7 to 10 p.m.
Just look what they're doing to Robert Kennedy. They got his family to go against him in Philadelphia. And I have to say this, that family looks like there's a whole lot of problems there. I know they're trying to play off on the Camelot magic of JFK.
It's definitely been bred out of the family. The magic, I think, is gone, but that's just me.
The Saturday Night Free-for-All. Listen this weekend. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and on the free Odyssey app. Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
By the way, now the New York Post has picked up the story that I was just talking about. A beautiful picture of the Kelceys, Jason and his better half, Kylie. And there's a nice picture of them, and they did a screenshot of this obnoxious woman who is, I mean, physically looks like, puts her arms up, and Kylie is like, she's not backing down. Good for you, Mama Bear. Delco, the Duchess of Delco, Kylie Kelsey, who's not backing down to this obnoxious, reportedly drunk woman who is all enraged because they don't want to, pose for a shot after she was banging on her vehicle. Crazy chick.
Remember, we are New Jersey.
By the way, this happened down the shore, and I looked up the number as far as Mike and Jeannie Monachetti, Mike's Seafood in Sea Isle, where the Kelceys, lead Team 62 for the Autism Challenge. Do you know at the recent walk that we did, they raised nearly $400,000. I mean, that's incredible as that walk goes. And, of course, the Kelceys I think Kylie's on the board and very involved for Philadelphia's Autism Challenge as well. But in New Jersey, remember, I should have him on again. There are researchers, but one of the head researchers on autism in the nation is in New Jersey at Rutgers. And they don't understand it, but New Jersey has among the highest, disturbingly high autism rates. And they don't know exactly why. But in New Jersey, autism rates are the highest in the nation. So that's still being researched. But, this money, it goes a long way for these families, for these kids. And so good for the Kelceys and good for Kylie, Mama Bear, standing her ground. I love it. Like, she told her, you're embarrassing yourself. Back down. And Jason's in the back like, yeah, I'm just letting Kylie handle things. It's pretty cute. And Anthony, just to wrap it up, you said that you saw the mayor of Margate has an offer for the Kelceys to try to make up for their their disturbed date night.
Yeah, the mayor of Margate, Michael Collins, says, on behalf of the city of Margate, I'd like to formally apologize to Jason and Kylie Kelsey for the experience they had in our city over the weekend. As a father with young children, I know as well as anyone the importance of a date night with your wife and would like to offer a redo with dinner on me. So, yeah, we'll probably...
that was nice.
We'll see them back down there, hopefully, maybe eating with the mayor. So
yeah. Well, Kylie Kelsey, you might think that she's... looks very pretty and dainty and whatnot. Not so much. She's tough. She's a mama bear. And this lady went after her. And you do see another gentleman, a friend of the family or whoever he is, the guy in the blue shirt, is getting in between the two women. But Kylie was not backing down. I mean, she was she was saying, no, get out of my face. I love it. But they did say that they went to, I think the Inquirer, somebody, maybe Hugh Dillon, I'm not sure who interviewed them. I always want to give credit. But they said that, in fact, they had a great time. Oh, no, it was in his podcast. They said they had a wonderful shore weekend. And speaking of which, and you heard Wildwood's mayor yesterday, Mayor Ernie, on Dom's show. But the truth is, down the shore, there's a lot of reaction, a ton of reaction to what's going on there. Because on one hand, you have officials saying, yo, not for nothing, Governor Phil Murphy, but you got to change these stupid policies so that you uncuff municipalities and police. Remember, Phil Murphy had refused to sign into law that idea to at least give them a $50 fine because who pays for all this policing, extra policing? And so, no, Phil Murphy says, nope, New Jersey, you're going to pay for it. We're not going to find these youths, these juveniles. And so they're talking about juvenile justice reform. That's what this is all about. No, it's not. It's the boardwalk. It's teens gone wild. They know they can act up because they know there are no ramifications. My idea, and you can tell me if you like this or not, my idea was put up cameras all along these areas, like of the boardwalk, and encourage everybody on the boardwalk. If you see something, don't say something. If you see something, pick up your phone, start recording from a safe distance so that all of this is documented, recorded, and then have it all streaming down the Jersey Shore and just show all these kids and post it all to social media. And it's my version of shame Game of Thrones, because eventually some parent is going to say, like, oh my God, like a Muffy needs to get into, UCLA, and we can't have Muffy acting up on the boardwalk because it could, hurt their chances at whatever Ivy League school. Maybe if you shame them, maybe that will help. I'm just saying. What's your idea? 855-839-1210. Of course, ultimately the idea is November 5th. If you vote for DJT, a lot of these issues, I believe, will get solved. I know we got to have Jack Chitterelli back on too. He was down the shore talking about turbines and the wind turbines and everything. We'll talk more about that and update you on that as well, because there is some turbine news. This is the Dawn Show. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. It's already hump day. That's the nice piece of a 4-day work week, right? It's already Wednesday. Watch out for traffic. Dom Giordano just got in, and he reports that no traffic yet, although they're saying by noon it's going to get thick. And then between noon and 5, that's when we expect, because you have dueling motorcades, the Veep and Biden, the chief persecutor. All right, Dawn Show continues. Great interviews continuing, lot developing. Thanks for being here. Stay right there.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
John, good morning. What movie did we just play for you, sir?
Rocky III, The Eye of the Tiger.
By the way, John, what's your favorite Rocky movie of all time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Rocky V with Tommy Gunn.
That might be one of the worst films of all time.
I thought my controversial take was Rocky IV.
First Rocky.
It's
right. Dawn, you're in the majority, I think. I think most people do believe the first is the best.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. It goes in descending order. Is that correct? 4, 3, 2, 1? Yeah.
Pretty close to that, yeah.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, this is Ray Didinger. I had the opportunity to open the new Joe Conklin show. It was sensational. It includes all the impressions, Iverson, Merrill, and Mike Barkley. They brought in this whole musical component with a full orchestra. It's really good. His daughter Casey's part of it. His brother's part of it. They can rock it, boy. So you got all the music, plus you got all the comedy. It's a great night.
That's Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic High School on June 29th and the Ocean City Music Pier on July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
This is a consumer alert to all U.S. taxpayers who owe the IRS back taxes or have unfiled tax returns.
If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, you can now take advantage of active programs that provide relief to struggling taxpayers and may reduce or eliminate what you owe if you qualify. Even if you are facing liens, levies, audits, wage garnishment, or already in a payment plan, call the Easy Tax Relief Helpline now to check what savings you may qualify for at 800-505-8196. You may qualify to reduce up to 99% of what you owe or for other special programs. Once qualified and enrolled, you can rest assured that your assets are protected and all collection efforts will be stopped. Billions of dollars in savings are available through these relief programs for struggling taxpayers, but you must call to see if you qualify. To see what savings you qualify for, call 800-505-8196. 800-505-8196. That's 800-505-8196.
Call 811 if you have some groundwork to do. Utilities are under you, and it's all good until they spew. Oops, now all on your lawn. It smells like a porta-john. Should've just called 811. It's a real human stinky bomb.
Call 811 before you dig and help us hit 50 and 5. 50% less damage to buried utilities in 5 years. For more info, visit pa1call.org.
Get ready to hit it out of the park every time you fire up the grill this summer with Hatfield. Swing into action with Hatfield's variety of marinated pork, ground pork and sausage, ham, bacon, and your favorite Hatfield Phillies Franks. With over 24 distinct flavors that can be ready in minutes, Hatfield pork is food you'll feel good about serving. From home or at the ballpark, find your flavor with Hatfield, the official pork provider of the Phillies. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and to find a retailer near you.
Have you been thinking about doing a Roth conversion, but the upfront taxes are holding you back? Welcome to Rothright. We can show you how to significantly reduce taxes on a conversion, potentially saving hundreds of thousands, even millions in taxes over your lifetime. A Roth conversion will give you tax-free income, eliminate required minimum distributions, and leave a tax-free estate to your heirs. Sign up for a free educational seminar now. Call 855-415-ROTH. That's 855-415-ROTH. Rothright is not a financial advisory firm. Consult with a tax professional before making any financial decisions.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Live and local from Philadelphia. The Dawn Stensland Show on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Yes, President Joe Biden, his Veep, Kamala Harris, coming to Philadelphia today to launch a new national campaign. They want their jobs back. And you know who they really need? Well, they need African-American voters who are leaving them in droves. That support dropping by, they had 94, 95%. So-called of the black vote. I hate saying the women's vote, the black vote, the LGBTQ plus vote. I hate saying that because I was raised at a time when you were told, well, my parents always said, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that we should be judged only by our character, not by the color of our skin. Basically saying to not be put in one box and defined by something like your gender, your ethnicity, the color of your skin, etc. Now we've gone backwards. It's weird. But they're here today launching what is to be their national campaign to get back the black voters. It's like AC/DC. Is that Back to Black? I love that song. My anthem with my son. Sorry, as I digress. But we do have Texas Congressman Wesley Hunt, 38th District, and I know that you love him. Right away when I was talking about he was coming out, everybody's like, I love Wesley Hunt. But I think part of the reason you love some of our Congress members across the nation who are more common sense individuals. And we can relate to that as far as what do we value as conservatives, as Republicans, not based upon our gender, by our generation, by our identity, as now everything's identity politics, right? But more just that we all have the same values, that we just want to live, we want to be free, we want to be able to get a job, to not be shut down, to have opportunity, to be safe. And think about the fact of what is government really supposed to do for us? Just provide the safety. That's a big one, and that's why border security is such a huge issue. And nobody knows that better than Congressman Wesley Hunt, living there in Texas and representing the good people of Texas. Thank you so much, Congressman, for joining me this morning, especially on a day when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are announcing right here in Philadelphia, where I'm broadcasting live from, announcing this new initiative that they want to ingratiate themselves. They want to get back the black vote. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. And it's back in black. That's one of my all-time favorite songs, too, man. By the way. First of all, I want to tell you how much I can't agree more with your words about being judged not by the color of your skin, but by the content of our character. Real quick, my district here in Houston, Texas, is a majority white suburb of Houston, Texas, that President Trump would have won by 25 points. I won by almost 30 points. As a black man, been black my entire life, because I'm literally being judged by who I am as a person. I'm a West Point grad. I'm a combat veteran. I'm an Apache pilot. I'm Ivy League educated. And I'm a United States congressman as a black man in a white majority district, because we've come a long way. And what your parents taught you, ma'am, are the exact same things that my parents taught me. And that is this: black issues are American issues. The reason why Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are in Philly right now is because they're going to have to try to pander to get the black vote, because they have failed not just black people, but all Americans. You see, black people hate this economy. Black people hate this migrant crisis. Black people hate wide open borders. Black people hate crime that's ravaging our country. Black people, Americans, we all hate it. And this is why, if President Trump gets at least 25% or higher of the black male vote, guess what? Democrats can't win. So that's why they are in Philly right now putting on their best dancing shoes, because they know they have failed the black community, the white community, the Hispanic community, the Asian community. They have failed Americans for the past 4 years, and now they have to try to get creative to figure out a way to pander to these specific groups to continue to divide us based on the way that we look in order to win an election. And I am convinced that it's not going to work this time.
Yeah, I believe you're right. When you saw the images of former President Trump's big rally in the Bronx last week, I mean, people, they thought 3,500 would be there. There are some reports, if you count the crowd that was trying to get in, that it might have been, close to double that amount, as people just were just, squeezing in, that they just wanted to be part of that. What's your reaction to the Trump rally in the Bronx last Thursday?
I've been to my fair share of Trump rallies. I've introduced him to a few rallies myself here in Texas and in Iowa. Ma'am, I got to tell you, it was absolutely breathtaking to see America waking up. We have a Republican president that is bravely going where no Republican has ever gone before. He's going to Minnesota. He's going to the Bronx. He is going to these Democrat stronghold states and saying, you know what? Every single state is up for grabs, because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden put them up for grabs with their poor policies. And so when I see him walking around the Bronx with Hispanic Americans and Puerto Rican Americans and black Americans, I think to myself, man, this guy is actually fighting for this country. And even going to that libertarian speech and giving that speech, he is going to places to where most people would say, Republicans can't win here, but he realizes that he has got to take the fight to everyone. And if we do this, there ain't enough cheating in the world that's going to stop this movement. And one thing I always say about President Trump is this, man. Donald John Trump is a political force of nature. Only he can pull this off. Could you imagine Joe Biden going to the Bronx? Could you imagine Joe Biden speaking at a libertarian conference? Could you imagine Joe Biden really speaking at all, for that matter, at this point? Because he's gone. The issue is President Trump is realizing that we have to take the fight to everyone that we thought we couldn't get before, because Americans are up for grabs. And it is no longer about partitioning yourself in a specific demographic. It is about, was I better off under President Trump, or was I better off under Joe Biden? And people are realizing that, no, I was better off under President Trump. And if these are my choices, Give me back the policies that we had prior to Joe Biden so that I could afford to live in America again.
Wow. I love your message. I mean, on social media, I follow you, and your wife have 3 beautiful children. A couple of issues I just wanted to get your take on as we think about Title IX. Those changes nationally because of Biden's executive orders take effect August 1st. Many school districts across our region and across the nation, our school boards are meeting, as we speak. And, Congressman Hunt, even for those districts that felt like they had this resolved, that they could provide separate bathrooms that were private bathrooms and handle things sensitively, for locker rooms and bathrooms to make sure that biological girls and females could know that they feel safe and private in a bathroom or locker room. But now what they're saying at the school board level is, no, they're going to pull our federal funds. So we have to rethink this. What is your take on the Title IX issue?
Move to Texas or Florida, man, because it ain't happening in those 2 states. Okay, we're not. We don't play those games, and even if it means losing some federal funding, this is a hill that we have got to fight for as a country. I have 2 baby girls in my house. I have a 5-year-old Victoria and a 3-year-old Olivia. They are the love of my life. I will do anything for my little girls, and most importantly, I will protect them from the predatory attitude of liberals that are trying to literally destroy the very fabric of what it means to be a man and to be a woman. And this is common sense. This is not difficult. And it's actually an issue that completely supersedes a political party. Most people look at this and they say to themselves, should a grown man with grown man parts be changing in front of women? And the answer is no. So why should we allow this right now? Why are we allowing common sense to not be so common in this country? And so it takes brave people like you, brave people like me to stand up and to say, no, we're not going to have this. It has worked this long in this country. We are not going back. That does not make me homophobic. That does not make me transphobic. It means I love my children and I want to protect them. That's all that means. And furthermore, I said this in a judiciary hearing not that long ago. When my children and my baby girls, when they work hard in a sport or they work hard in a craft, they are going to compete against other women. They are going to change against other women. They're going to be in a locker room against other women. End of discussion. Yes. That's it. And so whenever you start seeing crazies dilute that message, we are not the problem. They are the problem. And they are a very vocal minority that the common sense majority has got to stamp out.
Amen. Another big issue, and you talk about your young children here in Philadelphia and across Pennsylvania, across the nation, but in Pennsylvania, a huge issue is that our governor, Josh Shapiro, had promised something called Lifeline Scholarships. I talk about it all the time. And he was even, Governor Shapiro was even on Fox News when he was running because he promised these scholarships, of the vouchers, I should say, that are, in other words, some of the $22,000+ that is spent here in Pennsylvania on each student in public schools, the parents in the poorest performing and the poorest parents. So these are not even middle class. So they have the double whammy of being in a district that's so poor performing, but the family would have to make a certain under a certain amount of money, in other words. And during the last budget, it was in the budget. Shapiro literally scratched out that line, scratched out that opportunity for the poorest children in the poorest performing school districts to get those vouchers. What do you make of this as far as the power of the teachers union versus the power of, the rights to a great education? And do you see this as a civil rights issue that is another reason that communities, for example, here in Philadelphia, are not crazy about Biden?
This is the common example of the hypocrisy of the liberal left. They claim to be all for black people. They claim to be all for people of low socioeconomic backgrounds. They claim to be the party that cares about the people, and then they behave in this manner, and they don't care about people. They only care about their rich Hollywood elites. It's really disgusting, and I see it all the time. And the condescending tone that these people tend to take, especially when it comes to issues like this, is even more nauseating. When I hear stories like this, it frustrates me because I am a product of school choice in Houston, Texas. My parents chose to scrape and claw to send me to a private school 1 hour away from where we live. Now, I grew up in a middle-class home, but the school that I went to was a very affluent school. And it was very difficult for my parents to afford that. I drove 1 hour, one way, every single day because Texas gave us the choice to be able to do that. And so what I want to see happen is this. I want the federal government, first of all, out-of-state education, number one. But number two, when you have programs like this that have the opportunity to lift up families that are struggling, that want a good education for their children, but maybe they cannot afford it, which, by the way, disproportionately impacts Black and brown people. I'll be the first to admit that. Why would you not allow that to happen? And then furthermore, I would say this. Find the families and find the children that have perfect attendance. They want to go to school. Their parents are willing to drive and go the extra mile. How do we empower them, and how do we allow them to afford a better opportunity for the kids that want it? That's what I want to see happen. So what you just described to me is basically liberal doublespeak that I have to experience every single day. And I'm glad you're speaking out against that because, again, these issues are good for the community. When poorer kids in lower socioeconomic environments have a better education, crime goes down in your community all around. Everyone benefits. We all get to live by those Judeo-Christian backgrounds and give back to our community. And it takes a village. And everybody comes up better. We have better children. We have lower crime. We have higher education. We have better jobs. All these things happen if we do the right thing. Liberals do not want to see that happen.
Well, Congressman Wesley Hunt, we love you. We hope you come back. But thank you so much, sir, for your service. Everybody follow him on Twitter at Wesley Hunt, then TX for Texas, father, husband, Army vet, West Point grad, native Texan, and congressman for Texas. We thank you so much. And, you make me proud to be an American. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. And I will be in Philly on Tuesday night, actually, with Byron Donalds, June the 4th.
Wonderful.
Yes. And so there's an Eventbrite link on my social media if anybody would love to sign up and come out. But it's Byron Donalds and I from Florida. And we're very good friends. And we are going to Philly to talk about why Black issues are American issues.
Well, we will be there. Thank you so much, Congressman. Love it. Everybody.
God bless you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. Congressman Wesley Hunt. He's the best. Coming here next week. So that's exciting. We'll make sure that everybody knows about it, and I'll keep promoting that so that you can sign up and meet him in person. It's like talking to somebody over the phone and seeing him on TV. You can meet him in person. So that's pretty cool. So this is the Dawn Show. If you have a response, 855-839-1210. That judge, Juan Merchan, he's taken his time. The poor jury with these instructions. This is now going on over an hour that the judge is issuing the instructions to this jury of 12. And then usually they'll take a lunch break at some point around 11:30 noon-ish and then come back by 2. So I'm guessing here that he will wrap up. When he wraps up the instructions, they'll go to lunch and then they'll come back and they will begin deliberations. What does that mean? Does that mean that Trump will comment for us? He just waved this morning, which Anthony, normally doesn't he speak? I think pretty much, he's giving me the nod. Pretty much every...
Yeah, he does usually.
So this is he just from a distance waved a little bit. And so we'll see if he speaks coming out of the instructions or whether he remains, close, kind of keeping it close to the vest and not making a comment, which perhaps, that's wise because they can say in their appeal, look at, the Biden campaign was out there loudly trying to affect the jury and their verdict. Does Trump this time around not comment at all, even on the instructions? Well, we'll find out. Perhaps they'll be breaking very soon. This is The Dawn Show, 855-839-1210. If you want to comment, follow me on Twitter at Dawn Stensland. We'll take a quick break, take your calls on the other side, and some other developing stories. Be right back.
Talk Radio 1210,
Get slimmer for the summer by losing a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days with NJ Diet. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. Get ready for spring with njdiet.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
It is a pleasant start to the day with plenty of sunshine, but clouds will build up during the afternoon. Watch out for some scattered showers and storms later during the day with a high 78. Tonight, shower storm this evening, otherwise partly cloudy, low 59. And Thursday, partly sunny and cooler, high 76.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Do you have a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more that you don't need? Well, don't lapse or surrender your policy. You might be sitting on a gold mine. That's right. You may be able to sell all or part of your life insurance policy to Coventry for cash, or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premiums. Even a term policy. Call Coventry Direct at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. For over 25 years, we've helped thousands of people sell their policies, and we can probably help you too. Call us today at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. Call now.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions.
Attention, anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, or other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-721-4643. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-721-4643 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, or other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-721-4643. 800-721-4643. 800-721-4643.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. a neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. The NBA playoffs have tipped off, but it's not too late to get in on the action on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to use on same-game parlays, championship futures, and a lot more. And no better place to bet all the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook. Just go to FanDuel.com/Dom. That's FanDuel.com/Dom. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER. Hi, this is Dom Giordano. You don't want to miss out on the memorial sale at Rescue Natural Supplements going on now with prices rising across the country. Rescue is rolling back pricing to the year 2010. Plus, enjoy their fantastic 2 bottles, get 1 free, and buy 3 bottles, get 2 free memorial deals. Stock up on your favorites. Save big with Rescue rollback pricing and generous free bottle offers, whether you're in need of 1250 omega-3s, cholesterol supporters, probiotics, or natural pain relief. Everything is on sale. To order, call 800-26-ALIVE. That's 800-262-5483 and speak to a Rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com. That's res-q.com. Don't miss this opportunity for huge savings on over 50 Rescue products to tackle your health goals. Remember, 2010 rollback prices and the memorial deals are going on now through May 30th. So go shop res-q.com. That's res-q.com. Do it today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Dom Giordano.
Representative Matt Gaetz, welcome back to Philadelphia. Question from my producer. I didn't egg it on. You are one of the great congresspeople when it comes to hair.
You know, I have a little bit of the blow dry, a little bit of pomade, and then the secret ingredient is at the end, I sprinkle on Kevin McCarthy's tears. And if you use that at just the right moment, you get the elevation.
It's Dom time. Dom Giordano. Weekdays noon till 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app. Yo, Roy is Ford. What? We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
Haha. Little AC/DC. I love this song. This is my anthem. Michael, my son Michael and I, this is one of our anthem songs when we want to get fired up.
I guess this one doesn't have lyrics. I thought I was going to cut in there.
Back in Black.
Yeah.
It has many meanings to many people. For me, it was, remember during the pandemic, and right before the pandemic, I went blonde, and my kids were like, Mom, you're a brunette. What are you doing? So then I went back to the black hair, back in black, get it? And then for Michael with type 1 diabetes, your Dexcom reads it's a red when you go low. So it's always like, get back in black. In other words, back in the black. But I love that. I hit the sack. I try to make the high notes. I would kill to be able to sing, not really, but, I would love to be able to sing those high notes. It's so cool. Thanks for playing that. It made my day. I saw this lawsuit that I just wanted to update you on for Pennsylvania. And there are a couple publications. I know Epoch Times is one of them that's printing this, as well as, what was the other one? They're more right-leaning sites that are printing the story. But they're talking about a lawsuit that's seeking an end to what they call lawless non-citizen voting in Pennsylvania. And so they are saying, and it's a conservative advocacy group, America First Legal, AFL. They filed this complaint with the Pennsylvania Department of State, and they want to seek an end to a directive that allows non-citizens to vote in state and federal elections. And so they're quoting this Help America Vote Act of 2002, which mandates local election officials confirm the numbers are valid and current by using available databases. And so what they're saying, what they're alleging, is that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania maintains a voter registration system that the lawsuit says blatantly violates this federal law. So we're seeing this over and over where individuals are saying, we have these laws in place. We don't even need new laws. We need to make sure that only United States legal citizens are able to vote. And that's what's going on here. And so they filed this suit. I mean, we'll see where this goes. But in the act of 2002 that I mentioned, in that directive, the Pennsylvania Department of State cited a previous case to argue that the HAVA's data comparison process was intended only for storing and managing the official list of registered voters, and that they're not supposed to be used as a restriction on voter eligibility. And so that's their truth. You know how we talk about like having your truth? And so in this case, the Department of State here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, they argue that, no, it's just a database, to store things. This has nothing to do with using this as a restriction on voter eligibility. But when you read the law, it very clearly says you want to establish that these are citizens voting. That's the clear intent of the law, but I guess everything's open to interpretation, ladies and gentlemen. 855-839-1210 is the number to call, and we're watching carefully if Trump comes out or if there's any movement within the Trump case. Don't worry. 855-839-1210. Want to get to Don in Franconia. Hey, Don.
Good morning, Dawn. Thanks for taking my phone call.
Absolutely.
I'd like to talk about Title IX. A couple weeks ago, even though I'm a resident of the Souderton area district, I attended a school board meeting at Penn Ridge, which is adjacent to Souderton area. And it's just amazing how different the two areas or districts are. At Penn Ridge, somebody asked a question, how much federal money do they get from the federal government, which is part of Title IX. Title IX is going to say that there will be no money coming from the federal government if you don't pass Title IX. And somebody asked, and in Penn Ridge, apparently they get about $6 million a year, which is a good 4% or so of their tax bill for the community.
It's a lot of money.
School board. It's a lot of money. And yet, I asked the same question in the school district I live in, Souderton, and I was told they get less than $1 million. And both school districts are very similar in size. Penn Ridge is a little bigger than Souderton, but not by much. So that in of itself, I don't understand. And Satterton has 9 Republicans on the school board out of the 9 people. Penn Ridge has mostly Democrats on their school board, and I believe they voted 5-4 to take the Title IX.
Yeah, and so
again
that's
with
the.
the $6 million.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
You go ahead.
The question, that's the question. Will some communities, like we just had our favorite Texas congressman on, will some communities just say, "Nah, we're good. We'll figure it out. We don't want your federal dollars." Or I know there are many lawsuits, obviously in many states, not here in Pennsylvania, but dozens of states have filed lawsuits over this Title IX issue. But I think that it's something where school districts are trying to keep the federal dollars and trying to figure this out. And I don't know that there's a compromise, Don. That's the real problem. There's no compromise because the Biden administration gets to make the rules. And Joe Biden thinks it's okay for biological boys and males to be in the same bathroom or locker room as girls and young ladies. I mean, that's
I think that's
bottom
based
line.
on his. I think that's more based on from what you read or hear about wishful thinking for the president more than anything else, because he puts himself in that position. Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there. But there's one big thing in our favor. This law is going into effect on August the 1st.
Yes.
And that's 3 months before the presidential election. So I like to think that in those 3 months, people with their head up to you-know-where are going to realize what's going on and will vote accordingly.
Well, and that was one of the big questions I asked Trump on Kale and Company a couple Fridays ago was about that issue, and he said day one it goes back to the way it was under Trump, which is, of course, anybody in the LGBTQ plus community will, of course, be protected. And if you actually read the laws under the Trump administration, the Betsy DeVos had written that, it actually gave greater, read it and bear with me for a moment, it actually gave greater protection as far as transparency. So let's say you're in any community, the LGBTQ plus, or you're being bullied because of your ethnicity, your religion, anything like that. There's a clear directive under when Trump was president, and Biden obviously overturning that, but they would be forced to report, to have transparency. It would be tougher for districts to hide these things. And that is what Trump is for. I think Republicans need to talk about what Trump's directives under his administration stated. They wanted transparency. They wanted accountability. They wanted it so that anybody who is bullied or in any way harassed or discriminated in any way, whatever community you are in or identified as, etc., you would have truth, transparency, justice. It would be swift. Under the Biden administration, what people don't report is that when you look at what they have now and what gets even worse August 1st, is that you don't have that transparency. It gives these school districts cover, if you will, to hide these things under the carpet. Remember, we saw that in West Virginia, and that was the school board meetings that went viral, and that was under Glenn Youngkin and why he won and Republicans won, because then they saw that those kinds of policies actually give cover and enable predators. That's what was going on. And so at the same time, Trump made it clear that he would give protection to all groups, including biological girls and females and women. And I think that's the right thing to do. 855-839-1210. That's the number to call. We'll take a quick break. Be right back.
You, the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. ramp.com/250.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal.